Welcome back to the Travsessed podcast. We're your hosts, Kim and Aaron. We are healthcare travelers and the creators of Travsessed. And this is another Traveler Quick Tip Tuesday. This week we're going to be talking about when you should negotiate your hourly rate to a higher rate, which we usually do not suggest, but there are some reasons why that can be beneficial to you. And we're going to dive into that in this week's Traveler Quick Tip.
Flight crew, please prepare for departure.
Okay, so this is interesting because as we know, for travelers, we have like our pay packages are set up where we have an hourly rate that's taxable, and then we have our per diems, we have our housing, and those are tax-free money. And so how we've always gone about it and what we usually teach other travelers is that you want to have the lowest hourly rate that you possibly can that's within the limits of what you would normally be earning, right? So like we always suggest, don't go under $20 an hour, right? Mm-hmm. Because you don't want to be like making 10 or 15 bucks an hour. Most companies wouldn't do that anyways, but that could cause a red flag for the IRS of like, why is a stenographer making $10 an hour, right? That doesn't make sense. So anyways, we suggest always, but going as low as possible, because the whole point is you want to be able to make as much tax-free money as you can, because then that's more money in your pocket.
Well, like for instance, my last two contracts, I've been in the 40s for my hourly rate. And that was the lowest that they could bring it down, which was interesting.
Well, that's because your pay package was so high.
Right.
So it's like, if you have a really high bill rate and your stipends are already maxed out, you've gotten your travel reimbursement, that's maxed out, and there's still money left over, which is a great problem to have. The only thing that they can do, right, is put that back into your hourly, right? But unless you have a really high bill rate, that's not going to be the case.
Right, and that used to not be the case pre-COVID. But it's like post-COVID, the bill rates have been higher, even higher than when we first started. Obviously, they've settled back down, but they're still not to pre-COVID ranges, at least in interventional radiology. I can tell you that much.
What?
The bill rates.
Oh, are lower.
No, they're still higher than pre-COVID.
Oh, yeah. But especially for IR, because there's not as many IR techs. So, like, your job is like way more higher paying than mine as a stenographer. There's so many stenographers, so it brings the bill rates down where they can't find IR tech, so they're willing to pay more, right? So again, it's always depending on the market and what's going on. But okay, so why would we ever suggest that you have if it's not about having a high bill rate, right? Why would we suggest you having a higher taxable wage and taking less money from your tax-free stipends? What would be the reason for that? So something to think about as a traveler is that your tax-free stipends are not considered your income. So on paper, it looks like you're only making, say you're making 20 bucks an hour times 40, so like 800 bucks a week or something. But then with your tax-free stipends, you're really making, $2,500 a week or $3,000 a week. But people only look at your hourly rate as your income. So if you wanted to get a loan, if you wanted to buy a house, if you needed to get a car.
Which is still technically getting a loan.
Yeah, I guess it's all loan, right? It's all loans.
Loan-based or retirement.
Yeah, if you're getting up there in age and you're traveling at the
Medicare
end of your career and you want to be, you're putting money into your Social Security and stuff based off your hourly wage, right? So at a lower hourly wage, you're not putting as much in. So that could be another reason. But if you're trying to get a loan or something, which we've experienced this, we've had a couple of different experiences where we bought a car in California and they didn't look at
tax-free, they just looked at my bottom line.
Exactly. So they didn't care. They looked at all of it as income and it was perfectly fine, and we were able to get the loan and we were able to get the car. Then we've had situations where we've tried to get a loan for like our business or for other things, and they've only looked at the taxable and have said like, you do not make enough. They would not look at the other money that we've earned because it's not considered income.
Well, right, because then your W-2s go into it, and they look at your W-2s and they're like, two of you making this kind of money, like it's only like 20 or 35,000 that we're getting, on our W-2s, but we made a lot more than that. And so, it also depends on the company. It's like, for instance, like Aya has a actual employee verification department that basically sends information, and then we got message back that said my income could not be verified to the amount at which I stated, even though I sent in a contract, even though I sent in my pay stubs, I sent in all that stuff. They still were not willing to take it because it looked too, unstable. Depending on, they just look at non-taxable not income, I don't even want to say that word, non-taxable wages as unstable and not actually to be verified.
Right. Which is ridiculous because that is what you make every single week.
Right.
But yeah, that's just how a lot of places will look at it, or banks will look at that. So it is something to think about. That would really be the only time we'd ever suggest going up to as high as you possibly could hourly, which again is going to be less money in your pocket overall because you're going to be taxed more. But if one of your goals is you're trying to get a house or, whatever it is, get a loan for something or a car, then that is something like you do need to think about.
Yeah.
And kind of plan accordingly for.
Well, and also planning accordingly to the fact that like you can't just do it for one contract, because you would want to plan this out, because depending on what your bank or what type of loan you're trying to get, just put the thought into it to kind of ramp up to it so that you're fully prepared. If basically stating you're a traveler who wants to settle down somewhere, you went on a contract and you like love the area, you found a house, you really want to like move on it, well, then start preparing at your next contract, your next extension or things like that, like getting more taxable so that way you look better for banks.
Yep, I love that. Okay, cool. That answers that question. And I think the last thing we'll say is just kind of planting seeds that we're getting ready to go to Patagonia, but when we come home we're leading a trip in Patagonia, which we're really excited about. And then when we get home, so end of April-ish, we are going to be launching a membership site.
Good.
An app. An app membership site. So everything will be on your phone, which is really, really cool and convenient. And it's going to be a low-cost membership site. And in the membership site, we're going to have Traveler School, which is our online course for travelers, which literally walks you through everything you need to know about traveling step by step by step. It's an incredible, incredible resource for travelers. We're going to have monthly workshops taught by us and other travelers, where it's going to focus more on like the fun lifestyle things as a traveler. So it's not going to be logistical based. It's going to be about like how to get points to get free flights free flights or upgrade to business, or
how to travel with ease, like basically looking at, how Kim and I have traveled and other travelers have traveled around the world, and like accelerating our travel experience with lounges and how you get in there, and like all different things around that, traveling internationally, like how to even do it, how to set up your contracts and your life to allow yourself to go on these adventures in between contracts.
And paying off debts and starting side hustles as travelers.
Van life.
Yeah, traveling with kids. Like they're basically
starting a business as a traveler.
There's going to be so many different, every month there will be a different workshop, and it will be taught by either us, but also other travelers that are experts, like finances, financial planning, like so many good things that are, again, not specific to healthcare traveling, but a part of the lifestyle and this like cool adventure that we get to live. So we're going to do monthly workshops where we'll be teaching about all of those really fun things. And then we'll also do monthly Q&As. That will be Aaron and I, and that will be more focused on...
whatever.
Yeah, and if people are going through the course material and they have specific questions and things like that. So we'll do the monthly Q&A on that.
And then there's also going to be like an entire chat area so you can get to know your fellow members of the app, and also we'll be doing meetups around the US in different locations.
Just for the people who are part of the membership. Just for the people who are
part of the community. And you will also get discounts to Travsessed adventure trips and first dibs on the trip if you're a part of that membership site. And so there's really cool things. I will say also that, you know, for all the people out there, if you're not really appy or whatever, obviously the world is moving all to apps. It's available on your phone anytime you want it, anytime you need it, lunch break, on the train, wherever you are, which makes it really easy for us to be able to give you those videos, give you those lessons so that you have it at all times. But it is available also on your desktop and also on an iPad. So it's universal with those 3 devices, all included in the app price.
And then there's also a cool audio feature where you can send us an audio message, like if you have a specific question just for us, and we can get back to you. So it's kind of like a one-on-one mentoring thing. So anyways, yeah, we're super excited about it. It's something that we've been working on behind the scenes for quite some time. And I think it's just going to be a really valuable resource and a fun resource and community, getting people off, you know, social media and kind of into this community of really cool travelers that we also will be able to meet up in real life too and plan cool stuff. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll be sharing more about that. Make sure you're on our email list for more updates and things on that. You can join that on our website. I'm travsessed.com, and we'll keep you posted about that.
Yeah, super excited.
I can't wait.
I know. All right.
Is that
is that it? It's like, is there anything else?
Staring at me.
Okay. Creepy.
Well, he keeps yelling at me because I'm opening my soda.
It's not necessarily you opening your soda. It's the loud goiter that's on your thyroid.
I have a thyroid nodule.
I know. Gunk, gunk, like every swallow.
I need my Pepsi.
Okay.
All right, guys. We will see you on Thursday for another Epi. Okay.
Oh, God.
Goodbye.
Bye.